Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we will talk about, we will continue building a financial model for a bakery business idea. We are talking about small business, so this series of videos will be devoted to modeling of a small business idea. Hope you will enjoy it. Like, share, subscribe. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. And today we will be focused on fixed expenses. Despite of these expenses being called fixed, they may have some seasonality, and we will be modeling this seasonality. So I hope you will enjoy this project. At the end screen of this video I will give you the link to the playlist where I will be keeping all these tutorials. And when I finish this model completely, and when we will have a final overview, I will give you all the links on these tutorials in the description of this video as well, so you may watch the whole process from scratch absolutely free, one tutorial by one. First of all, let's make a quick overview of what we did before during our previous tutorials. So we have two tabs in our model at this moment. So blue cells like this, like this. These are the inputs. So we are, when we will be building scenarios, we will be playing only with these blue cells. We are not touching these cells where there are formulas. So we're not touching them. So when we are playing with scenarios, when we are building scenarios, we are working only with blue cells. So first of all, we have the list of different types of breads, different types of cakes. So we can switch them on and off from calculations for future scenario analysis to see the performance of our business idea if we have or don't have some items in our product line. So here we specify the sales plan monthly. We have global and local coefficients linked to the sales plan. So this will allow us quickly increase or decrease globally in sales plan or specific items inside the sales plan. So we will be able to see what will be the difference between simple payback period or discounted payback period if we increase or decrease the sales plan for specific item or for all product line. Then we specify the selling price. We have global and local coefficients for scenario play for selling prices. Then we will move a little bit later to this block. So here we have the list of all the ingredients. So these are different ingredients play part in producing of breads and so on. So these are the ingredients for this product line. So this is the price per 1 unit of this ingredient. We can switch on and off these ingredients from calculations. We have global and local coefficients for this price of ingredients. So we will be able to see very quickly what will happen if the cost of ingredients will grow or decrease for all ingredients or for specific ingredients. So we can play with this local coefficient. Then on the next tab we have a block of inputs where from top to the bottom we have the list of breads, cakes. So this is the product line, and here on the right, from left to right, we have the list of ingredients, and here we specify the consumption of different ingredients per 1 unit of product. So for example, for bread 1 we need 5 units of ingredient number 1, and we need 8 units of ingredient number 15 to produce 1 unit of bread 1. So this is the place where we are specifying the recipes for our product line. Then we assume that we have 5 types of customers. Then we allocate the revenues between these types of customers. Then we specify the average check for this portrait of customer, and then we can switch on and off each type of customer. And here we can see the amount of customer. So here we have the allocated revenues monthly. These are the average checks. Here we can see the projected amount of customers monthly. This is the amount of customers daily, so we can see if these numbers is real or not, realistic or not realistic. We can switch on and off different types of customers from calculations to see the revenues. We can do it like this, for example. So these are the revenues, these are direct expenses. Now let's move forward. So we are start specifying when we are going to start operating activity. So we specify the year and month when we get the first revenues. Then we are specifying how fast we are reaching the target revenues for different types of customers. So for example, for customer number 1, we are reaching target revenues right from the first month of operating activity. And for the second type of customer, we are reaching only 30% of target revenues, then 60, 90, and then 100%. So we can play with all these inputs to see if we have any operating losses inside the cash flow statement. This will affect the financing needed for the business idea. So this is a very important block for inputs for the project itself. Then we create the revenues, and then we create direct costs. And now we need to build fixed expenses. So let's create a new block of inputs, fixed costs. So I will create a typical year from January till December. So here I will place a different fixed cost item. So let's say we have 10 fixed cost items. So these are the inputs. We're coloring them with blue because blue is a specific color for all our inputs. So this is the input area as well. And for example, the fixed cost item 1, so we may have a stable expense of $200 monthly. Then this fixed cost item, we may have, for example, $1,000 expense each quarter. Then, for example, this item we may pay, for example, $600 once a half a year. So we may face absolutely different algorithms, but they may be stable, but they may have some seasonality. That's why we are creating this block of inputs. So for example, this expense we may have just $4,000 once a year, for example in April. This expense we may have, for example, $200 here, $600 here, $40 here, and for example $3,000 here. So algorithm may be absolutely different. Then for example we may have some seasonal costs, like for example this cost will be in winter, for example January, February. Then for example in December, these costs will be from March till November, for example. And some costs may have no seasonality, like this. So these costs are fixed, but they may have some seasonality, or they may have some algorithms inside the typical year. So here we are specifying all these algorithms for fixed costs. Then we can add local and global coefficients. So this will be local coefficient, this will be global coefficient. So this will be percentage format. Now, for example, I would like to have an opportunity to switch on and off different fixed cost items from calculations. So for that, I will use data validation. So this is the input, so we're coloring it with blue. So here in this column we are explaining to Excel that if this position is on, we have 1, otherwise we have 0. We are not counting this expense. Now let's put these expenses into the timeline. So let's copy the timeline. Let's call it fixed costs step 1. So what I will do now, so I will take this input, I will multiply it on the local coefficient, I will freeze the column, then I will multiply it on the global coefficient, I will freeze this cell completely, then I will multiply it on this column, yeah. Now I will extrapolate this formula to the bottom, then to the right. Now I will press equals, put the cursor here, press enter, extrapolate these values to the right. So now we have our fixed cost inside the timeline, but we need to crop these costs and start them from August 23, because our revenues start in August 23. So we've created the project timeline and we have operating activity 0111 line starting from August 23. So now we need to do a very simple exercise. I will copy this table here, will do now, I will take these values and multiply it on this line that I was showing you a couple of seconds ago, operating activity 0111. Now I will add $sign here to freeze it. Now I will extrapolate this formula to the bottom and to the right. Now let's color it with red, because this table will go, this contains costs first of all, and these costs will go to the later will go to the cash flow statement. So now we can see that our fixed costs starting from August 23. So for example, we want to displace our project start not from August but from November. We can see November starting here in timeline. We can see November here, percentages. Revenues are starting in November. Direct costs starting in November. Fixed costs are starting from November. For example, we can increase this cost 3 times. We can see it here. Or we can increase all fixed costs on 50%. Or for example, we would like to switch off some costs from calculations and see how the business will perform without these expenses, and see how they affect cash flow statement, simple, discounted payback period. So we can easily play and build different scenarios very quickly. without touching the inputs themselves. So guys, like, share, subscribe. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. At the end screen of this video I will give you the link to the playlist where I will be keeping all these tutorials, and when I've completely finished this model I will place all the links in the description of this video as well, so you may watch all the process of creation of this model from scratch, one tutorial by another. So thank you guys for watching, see you next videos, thank you and bye.